Hey, my name is Zach. I thought I'd just talk a little bit about my DXM addiction. I've been addicted to DXM for about 12, 13 years now. It started when I was young, like when I was like 16. I started using it shortly after my mom passed away, and the very first time I used it, I got hooked on it. I started taking DXM in the form of triple C's. I started out, taking 8 and then slowly progressed upward, from 8 to 12 to 16. Um, Eventually, years down the line, I was taking 32 to 48 to even 64 triple C's. It got so bad with me that even 32 triple C's, like if I was to take it now, I want to be able to feel anything from it. I used to take, my favorite stuff to take was triple C, Delsum, or the Robitussin gels. Uh, and I used to get these really fantastic out of body experiences, mystical experiences, like religious, spiritual kind of experiences. But now I just don't feel anything from it. My brain's finally had enough. They say there's like a trip limit for it, and I guess I passed it. I started out smoking weed, and about a week later from smoking weed, my friend introduced me to triple C's, and since then it's just been this really bad progression. Eventually I found the needle. I shot up. I didn't shoot up that much. I think I shot up like 5 times. Um, Heroin and meth. But even the heroin and meth, it wasn't, enough for me. It wasn't my drug of choice. So the first time I shot heroin, I went and got like 40 robogels and took it on top of that. Um, I had to, like, if I was to take it now, I would have to take anywhere from 700 to 1,000 plus milligrams just to be able to feel it. And it doesn't really trip me out anymore. But it's DXM has really ruined my life. Since I started, I've been homeless. Um, I've been in and out of programs. I've been in and out of jail for stealing cough medicine. Um, my life is just now getting started again. I only have a couple weeks off of everything, and the last thing I used was air duster actually because I've been on naltrexone for the past couple weeks, and I just thank God that the naltrexone works for DXM too. So if anybody's struggling with DXM addiction, I highly recommend naltrexone because you won't be able to get high on DXM anymore. At least for me, anyways. I don't know about anybody else, but it's working for me. I've been struggling with cravings for it because part of me really misses that experience that I used to get. It was like I describe it kind of like sitting back on a couch, a big comfy couch with like a soda, and like I was able to like experience my life sitting on this looking at my eyeballs. Like it was a very comfortable place. It helped me deal with like my anxiety issues and my depression. It helped me to really deal with certain issues that I haven't wanted to face. It was able to let me look at them from like an outside point of view, and it made it easier to deal with everything. Even while I was homeless, like as long as I was on DXM, I was good. I could be sleeping in the mud and the dirt, and I would be just fine. As long as I could just have that feeling. DXM is a synthetic analog from morphine, so it's kind of like a partial opiate. So it helps me not feel any pain. It doesn't kill pain, but it numbs it. Um, and the experiences I used to get it kind of used to feel like there was something there, like some kind of force or spirit that was like trying to show me something. There was like a place that I was trying to go through these visions and hallucinations that it was trying to lead me to. Part of me thinks maybe it was just trying to lead me to death because there's like as I was able to experience the hallucinations and once I learned how to control them, I was always able to go to like a certain point, but it wouldn't let me go past that certain point. And I feel like that certain point was dying. And as a result, I started to become very suicidal. I've had a couple suicide attempts, and I've been in the hospital a couple times. I've almost lost my life because of this multiple times. The last overdose I had, I was in I was in the hospital for like I think 3 months. I almost lost my leg, and I was on dialysis. They called my parents where I was at because my brain was completely inactive. I had zero brain activity, and somehow, some way, I'm still standing here today. So I know there must be some higher purpose for my life because I've tried to kill myself multiple times and it hasn't worked. Granted, maybe they were feeble attempts, but still was an attempt and it didn't work. Part of me wanted to die because I felt like if I had died on the DXM, like I would have just been able to stay in that place, float off into that DXM universe or whatever it was, you know. Uh, maybe I would have gotten to see my mom again who passed away. I don't know. But I just wanted to make this and let people know that, DXM does lead to other stuff. For me, I was still addicted to DXM no matter what I was doing. DXM is highly addictive, or at least it was for me. It may not be physically addictive, but it definitely is mentally. And I'm still struggling with it. The naltrexone's been making it easier to deal with the cravings. They're still there, but they're more manageable. But it's a comforting thing to know that if I was to go out and use DXM in any form right now, I wouldn't get high. So it's the naltrexone's kind of reprogramming my brain to say like, hey, if you drink this stuff, nothing's going to happen. So there's kind of no point. But anyways, I just wanted to make this video to let people know that they're not alone in this addiction. And if you're like me and you've tried to go to treatment centers, you may have had people say to you, why don't you go use some real drugs? Why don't you get addicted to something that's real, and I think those people are just ignorant and arrogant and they don't know what they're talking about. I would kind of say something like, well, why don't you take a 4 plateau dose and go where I've been and then tell me it's not a real drug. But DXM has ruined my life just like any other drug addict's life has been ruined. And I just wanted to reach out to people who are struggling with this and say, please, reach out to me because I need people to talk to about it because I feel like, no one really understands. Like, people understand in the aspect that, they may be an addict too, but they don't understand what it's like to be hooked on this because people tell me all the time, like, oh, it's not a real drug. Like, oh, it's not really addicting. And to compare, DXM to my heroin addiction would be, stupid. But, nobody understands. DXM is looked at in the drug community like a loser drug. And it's kind of sad that, I'm not even accepted in my own group of people, but it is what it is, I'm trying to work on not using other people's opinions to validate myself, if I want to see how I'm feeling, I go talk to somebody else, and once they say, like, how I'm feeling, then I'm like, okay, well, that's how I'm feeling, but I'm really struggling. I'm trying to figure out how to feel, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, if anybody's struggling with DXM, please reach out to me because I need you. I need to talk to you because, the struggle is real. And, yep, thank you.